again. That's my Jeep.
No!
And last week,
That week's getting worse.
this was my Honda. And I have a dentist appointment in an hour. Alright, I have a dentist appointment today. It is currently 10:23. My appointment is at noon. If I can take my Jeep, it's like 4 minutes away. If I have to walk, it's like 30 minutes away. So that means I have about an hour to replace the radiator. If I don't succeed, I'm walking to the dentist and I'm walking home. So I'm gonna get started. This is, can I replace the radiator in my Jeep Cherokee before I have to go to the dentist? Now, if you're anything like me, you might be thinking, Evan, is that a real harp? Yes. You might also be thinking, why wouldn't you just wait until after your dentist appointment to replace the radiator in your car? Like, the dentist is only 3 minutes away. You can just drive there with a leaky radiator. Now see, the truth is, I could have made it to the dentist with my leaky radiator, but this day I woke up with a goal. And that goal was to make a YouTube video with tension and anticipation. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Evan. I'm an engineer by trade, a mechanic, sometimes by obligation, and a founder of Mountain West Off-Road, which is the channel that you're watching, and it's the website of the same name, which is linked in the description. So, if I want to take my Jeep to the dentist, there's a few things that have to actually happen for me to get my radiator replaced, and they are as follows. 1, I have to remove all of the things that are physically around my radiator. This includes the fan shrouds, the upper rad support, the hoses that are connected to the radiator, and anything else that's holding it in the car physically. 2, since this radiator is full of coolant and it's cooling my engine, arguably, I have to get all that stuff out, which means I have to drain it all, and preferably I'd like to drain it into a container of some sort rather than dumping it all over the floor of my garage. 3, I have to physically remove the old part and then physically replace it with the new part. So that's kind of the obvious part. I also have to make sure that the new part that I got matches what I'm expecting it to and that it fits in the same spot and I don't have any issues. If it doesn't, I'm kind of dead in the water and I'm walking to the dentist. Number 4, I have to put all the new coolant back into my new radiator because otherwise it's not really cooling anything if it doesn't have coolant. This could lead to issues like overheating or all sorts of bad things that we don't really want to happen on the way to the dentist. Numero 5, I'm gonna have to put all the things that I just took off and out of my engine bay back on and back into my engine bay. So those hoses have to go back on, the radiator support has to go back on, the fan shrouds, the fans, all that stuff has to go back in the car. So at a minimum, I'm gonna have to reconnect anything that would otherwise get caught in like a fan or a belt or something like that. And I'm gonna have to reconnect that fan shroud so if I crash the car I don't die, and so that I have a spot for my hood to actually latch to. Number 6, if all goes well, I would like to actually bleed the coolant before I drive the car. I can get away with not doing this technically because the dentist is so close to me, but I'd prefer to bleed it because I'm gonna have to do it anyway, and if I have the time, I don't want to have to come back to it, especially because by the time I come back, my coolant will be hot. But so that's on my kind of wish list. We'll see if I get there. Fingers crossed. Alright, and last but not least, I'm gonna have to do all of that in under 1 hour and 7 minutes. If my car isn't back together by 1 hour and 7 minutes, I'm gonna have to walk to the dentist on foot. And I don't have any friends, so I can't ask somebody else to drive me. So with all that said, let's sit back and watch what obligatory mechanic Evan decided to do first when working on his radiator. I think the first thing I'm gonna do here is go ahead and take this actual cowl off. This whole sort of front crash brace comes off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy off and then take this guy off, and that's gonna give me access to the radiator underneath. All right. So that's all done. This guy is loose. I'm not gonna take it out because there's some more bolts kind of back under here, but I think I can slide this rad support out from behind it. So I just have these two in the front now. I'm gonna take these off and then I can kind of push them away and then I can slide this out, I think. First there's a little plug right here. Hose out of the way. All right. There's one fan out. Okay, so this is loose. We'll kind of tuck it back here. We'll try to get this guy out now. Push this through. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so you've seen me make pretty good progress on step 1 so far, but before I can continue with pulling those radiator hoses, I'm gonna actually have to get the coolant out of the radiator so it doesn't spill over my floor. Now the drain port on my radiator ended up being in a really awkward spot, and you'll see here just how much time I spent fiddling with it until I ended up figuring out how to actually get through it. So there's gonna be a drain valve. Oh, I remember this. This is so annoying. Yeah, it's down there. What am I supposed to do? Can I reach it? Oh, that might not work. Can I take this canister out? This thing's just zip tied in here. Alright, I might just try and see if I can get a wrench onto here. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. Can I fit a wrench through here? Alright, this isn't gonna work. It's gonna take me half an hour just to get this out. So I have to pull a hose or something. It's gonna be messier. Can't blow my half hour. I'm gonna take that hose off. I have 30 minutes left. I'm getting there though. I may be halfway. Maybe I'm not walking to the dentist. Alright, so after all that fiddling, I've finally got all the coolant drained out of my radiator. But it took so long that now I only have 30 minutes left to do everything else. And I still don't even have the radiator out yet. So this is kind of the point where I started to realize just exactly what I signed up for with doing this challenge, trying to finish everything before my appointment. And I'm starting to get just a little bit concerned. Now I'm gonna take this upper rad hose out. My hands are so cold. Oh, it hurts. Now they're covered in coolant. Okay, I think I only have one more thing here. These guys connect the radiator to the intercooler. This looks like it's free. Alright, here's my old rad. Oh, there's coolant all over my floor. So before I can put this radiator in, I have some plugs down here. This is for a transmission cooler. I have a manual, so I don't have those cooling lines stock. So I have some plugs that come off of the other one. I cannot get this off. All right. I have some little sleeves like this. I'm gonna use them with a hose clamp, and I think that'll be good. I'm gonna try it. I got 20 minutes to put all this back together. Alright, so now everything is finally out of the Jeep, and I'm ready to start putting it back together. But it's taken me 40 minutes just to get to this point, and now I have to do all of the reassembly in only half that time. So maybe you can tell, but this is kind of the point where I start to wonder if I'm actually ever gonna make it to this appointment at all at this rate. So this just sits down in here like this. Ah, you idiot. Oh wow. This one has these brackets built in, so I have to take those brackets off the intercooler. Oh my god, how do I keep doing that? Why is it stuck? Oh my god, I have 15 minutes. Come on! Oh, yes! There we go. Stay! I don't have bolts for this intercooler, so I'm gonna zip tie it. Alright, let's get these hoses put on. Okay. What comes next? I guess it's this rad support stuff, right? How long do we have? Oh my god. I got 7 minutes. Okay. Oh, I forgot a part. Oh, so this is gonna go right there. I have 1 minute. Oh my god. I have 1 minute. Come on! Alright. So yeah, I did actually spend basically my entire remaining 20 minutes just trying to place the radiator into the car and nothing else. So what, is that it? Am I just gonna vlog my walk to the dentist for the rest of this video? Well, if I were a gambling man, I would also have the option of going double or nothing and trying to get the whole thing done now in the next 20 minutes. The problem is, this is kind of just removing my entire contingency of walking, because if I don't get it done in the next 20 minutes, then I'm basically just missing my appointment entirely. On top of how bad I would feel about missing an appointment entirely, this was recorded at the end of December, so a few days later, my dental insurance was gonna lapse. It was kind of important I went. So what am I gonna pick? Well, let's see. Okay, so it is 11:31. So my dentist appointment is at 12. If I leave now, walking, I'll be there on time. If I spend the next 20 minutes putting this back together, and it works, I'll also be there on time. So I have to decide which one to do. I think I'm gonna walk, and that's purely because I have my steering box right here, and I want to tighten this up a little bit, but if I put my radiator back in and rush to the dentist, then I can't do that. Unless I leave this fan out. Can I leave this fan out? I can leave this fan out, right? What if it doesn't work? It has to work, right? Oh, that's so hard to think. What do I have left here? I have to put coolant in. I don't technically have to bleed it. I have to bolt this back down. Fan shroud, hose, coolant, bolt this in. Can I do that in 20 minutes? I think I'm gonna do it. I have an impact. How long did it take, right? Alright, let's go. We're on borrowed time. First thing I'm gonna do is put the coolant back in. So, I'm gonna start with distilled water. Coolant concentrate. Let that trickle down, and I'm gonna bolt this guy in. this fan shroud has to sit in a little bracket at the bottom of the radiator. This is what I'm looking at down here. Alright, there we go. Now I can put this back in. Okay. Sounds good. Alright, I have, oh my god, it's 11:50. Okay, I am going to quickly start the car. Leave the coolant a little bit. How do you need to do that? It has coolant 3 minutes away. Put the cap on. Come on. I'm gonna wash my hands. Cap on. Alright, I'll torque this down. And that's it. I gotta leave. Looks good. Does it latch? Let's see. Looks like it latches. So my bet paid off, and I was able to make it to the dentist only 2 minutes late. Although, technically I never bled my coolant, so I didn't finish that step. So, did I really succeed? I'll let you decide. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, I would love if you could check out our website, mountainwestoffroad.com. We just launched our very first product, which is these Jeep Cherokee XJ cup holders. They have an all-steel construction, which is powder-coated in this nice matte black finish that matches your stock interior. We do it all in-house, right here in the United States, and we're trying really hard to keep them in stock. So if you see them on the website and they're still up, grab them while you still can, because they might not be back for a little while. So thanks so much for watching our video. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. This is what my bench looks like. Alright. Gotta go.